Hey guys, it's Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a really lovely, elegant, simple watercolor look card using a stamp set. So we're going to start off with some Bristol Smooth by Strathmore. That's the kind I use. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, using in the Misty. And we're going to start off with the lovely stamp that is in the Hello Lovely stamp set by Concord and 9th. And using my Misty Creative Corners there to kind of hold my cardstock in place. I'm going to start off with Memento Tuxedo Black. And if you have a brand new stamp set, sometimes you're going to notice that it doesn't stamp exactly clearly with your first use. So a simple way to do to kind of clean that up is to just use a Misty or another stamp positioning tool. This one is my favorite because it works the best. And just stamp it several times. And using something like this, you don't have to worry about it shifting and getting over stamping or it look funny. Or you can kind of prep it using some scratch paper and just ink it up and stamp it several times. And it should get rid of any film that might be left on it. So I've stamped this probably 3 or 4 times just to get a good, nice black image. So I'm going in next with this flower stamp using Simon Says Stamp Fog ink. I wanted this to be a background image, so I'm using a really light gray. And when you look at this stamp set, you're going to think it didn't stamp properly, but this is the way it's supposed to look. It's supposed to look a little bit grungy, if you will, not quite perfect. And a lot of the images in this stamp set are designed to look that way. It's kind of like a watermark or a watercolor look without having to use watercolors. And I wanted these floral images to just kind of fade into the background. And if you have trouble getting images to look random, it helps to stamp them off the edge in different parts of your card. And it also helps to use odd numbers, so 3, 5, 7. And that what that does for the eye is that it prevents it from trying to match them up. And when you have even numbers, that's what your brain tries to do. So odd numbers just kind of helps it not do that and just kind of skip over it. And it also helps it to look more random. I was trying to figure out a way to fit the leaves in here, but I decided not to. I think it looked better with just the floral images. And by stamping the lovely in black and then using the gray ink behind it with the flowers, it helps to help the lovely stand out. And also pushes the flowers into the background a little more. And I do use a microfiber cloth to kind of wipe off any excess ink before I move it, just so I don't get any smudges where I don't want them. So this is a die cut that I had from a background piece I was trying to use, but I felt like the stamp set that I was using didn't match with the kind of whimsical look of the die cut, so I just put it to the side and decided to use it for something else. This big floral image is the main one in the stamp set, and I first stamp it in Smoke from Simon Says Stamp, which is a little bit darker shade but not super dark gray. But as you can see, when I stamp it, it doesn't stand out as much as I wanted it to. And I'm still trying to figure out how to use that die cut. So I go back in with Slate, which is a much darker ink, more of a charcoal color ink. And I stamp that down. and that really popped. I really liked how that stood out against the lovely and the floral images in the background. And I really liked how it pushed those floral images in the background even more. So I finally decided I wasn't going to make the big die cut work. And I really loved how this little hello looked next to the big lovely, and the difference in fonts as well. You have the black lettering of the hello with the stylized font of the lovely, and I thought it was really pretty. So the glitter cardstock is from Decos with a View, and it's by in the Twinkle Glitz stack. You can get these online, or you can get them at the big box stores. I die cut that with a stitched rectangle die, and then I just trimmed off some edges from the stamped piece and then adhered that down with some score tape. And I'm just going to use a handful of gold sequins from Little Things by Lucy's Cards. You can get those online as well. And I'm just going to add a few gold sequins, and then that will finish up the card. I really loved how the subtle tones of this added such an element of elegance to it. This is really pretty. And not something I usually do. I tend to use a lot of color and a lot of bam, in your face kind of stuff. But this one was really subtle, but really lovely. So thanks for joining me today, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see in the future, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.